So it's 12:28. So that means it's afternoon. So good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, dear students, come teachers who are on the board, who will appear the interview and the demonstration to be conducted by West Bengal School Service Commission. As you know that this process of having demonstration and the viva, you can call it interview, you will have to appear for the interview, and on that board inside the room you will have to give a demonstration on a certain topic, on a text or a chosen area. But it depends whether you will have the liberty to select a topic of your own choice, or the experts, the interviewers, they will provide you the topic. It depends. So all in advance, it's better to have a good preparation on the topics that you will demonstrate in front of the panelists, in front of the panel of the interview board, and then the question answer session after the demonstration, because you know that for demonstration you have a certain marks. For demonstration you have a certain marks. You have 10 marks for demonstration, you know. So a lecture demonstration and oral interview দুটোই কিন্তু তোমাদের কাছে ইম্পর্টেন্ট, এবং দুটোর জন্যই কিন্তু ইকুয়াল মার্কস রাখা হয়েছে 10 marks. Now lecture demonstration and oral interview, how it will go on, how it will how the lecture demonstration and how the oral interview will go on. So for your information, I like to say that offline the demonstration and online mock interview has been arranged by the institution offline in Kolkata and Medinapur both. So you can contact the respective branch offices to get enrolled for the same. So lecture demonstration you have 10 marks. There is nothing new to say about that. And for oral interview we have 10 marks. Now for the lecture demonstration, what is the purpose of this lecture demonstration? A lecture demonstration এর উদ্দেশ্যটা কি? Here the candidates are evaluated on their techniques, on their ability to demonstrate their knowledge of a subject. how you will decipher your ideas, your knowledge on a certain topic. এখানে নামিয়ে দিন, ক্লাস করছি আমি। So for lecture demonstration and how you will prepare for prepare yourself, that is important. But before you appear the board, what is important, that is how you will appear before the board, because the first impression you will create, that is very important. আমরা প্রথমেই আমাকে কিভাবে আমি প্রেজেন্ট করব, আমার বডি ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ কি হবে, আমার এটিকেট কি হবে, এগুলো কিন্তু really matters. What are the do's and what are the don'ts? So you can make a list and be very careful what you will follow and what you will not follow. Now, what you will follow, what would be your body language, what would be your manners, what would be the kind of etiquette. You enter the board, you enter the room, smile politely, একটু মৃদু হাসতে হবে, greet the panel, sit straight, হাতগুলো হবে টেবিলে নয়, হাত ক্রস হবে না, হাত হবে on the lap, কোলে, and try to maintain an eye contact. চোখে চোখ রেখে কথা বলতে হবে. There is no chance to keep your eyes away or look at something else. আমি যে বসলাম স্ট্রেট হয়ে এবং হাত রাখলাম আমার ল্যাপ, সেখানে আমি আঙুলগুলো ভাঙবো, আওয়াজ করব, অনেক সময় হয় when you become nervous it happens, আমরা কি হয় না আঙুলগুলো ভাঙতে শুরু করি, মচকানো যাকে বলে. Don't do that. আই কন্ট্যাক্ট রাখবো, অন্য কিছুর দিকে তাকাবো না, এবং সব থেকে জরুরি হলো যে আমি ইন্টারভিউয়ার্সদের কাছ থেকে প্রশ্নগুলো শুনবো. So you listen carefully before you answer. Don't interrupt the interviewer. When he is posing a question, he is putting a question, don't interrupt the interviewer. This is a bad manner. And again, don't make any argument. And if you know the answer, what is important, you answer the question confidently. With full confidence. Whatever you are saying, you have the full confidence on that and on that answer. It's not like that you don't know the answer, but you are trying to make some you are bridging the gap, you are bringing the stage makeup, doing the stage makeup. It's not like that. And again, one more thing is important, don't apologize excessively. Sorry, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. Sorry, I can't remember. Don't do that. You can do, but don't do in an excessive manner. So, body language and etiquette at the beginning is important before you start the interaction. Now, interview, what they actually test in the interview, what they judges, what they judge. The interview is not meant to judge, test whether you are a scholar of literature. আমি সাহিত্যের কোনো ছাত্র, সাহিত্যের গবেষক, সাহিত্যের আমার পাণ্ডিত্য রয়েছে, এইটা কিন্তু জাজ করা হয় না। Rather, whether you can judge, you can teach effectively, you can teach English effectively, you can represent the subject responsibly in a secondary classroom, that is important. তাহলে কোনটা বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্ট আমাদের কাছে? আমাকে জ্ঞানের সাগর হিসেবে নিজেকে উপস্থাপন করতে হবে এবং এইটা ইন্টারভিউতে জাজ করা হয়, দ্যাট ইজ নট the purpose. The purpose is to test whether one can teach the subject effectively and how you are representing the subject with full confidence, with full responsibility in the classroom. The panel, the people, the teacher, the professors, the experts present in that panel, in the interview room, they check your knowledge on the English language, literature, grammar, pedagogy. They check your clarity, the fluency in English communication. They judge your confidence, your teaching attitude, the discipline. They do try to check your understanding of teaching methods, your understanding of the psychology of the students. Now, for subject knowledge, that is the heart of the interview. You must be able to speak confidently about both literary history and the language teaching. Literary history means, for literary history, most of the candidates, they do prepare on a topic of their own choice. Basically, the British literature, the key periods. You can take preparation on the medieval, the Renaissance period. There you have Chaucer, you have Shakespeare, you have Marlowe, you have Edmund Spenser, you have John Donne. So medieval, Renaissance, metaphysical poets, metaphysical period. Again, you can go with the new classical age, pseudo classical age, and in that period we find Alexander Pope, we find John Dryden, we find Jonathan Swift. Now coming to the most favorite area of most of the candidates, that is the romantic period, romantic poets, Wordsworth, Coleridge, Keats, Byron, Shelley. দেখা গেছে যে আমাদেরকে যখন জিজ্ঞেস করা হয় যে তোমার কোনো ফেভারিট এরিয়ার উপরে তুমি ডেমনস্ট্রেশন দিতে পারো, বা তোমার কোনো ফেভারিট এরিয়া বলো যেখান থেকে আমরা তোমাকে কোয়েশ্চেন করতে পারি। দেখা গেছে যে বেশিরভাগ ক্যান্ডিডেট তারা শুধু একটাই এরিয়া বলে, রোমান্টিক এজ। I would not say that to say that you are confident you have full preparation on the romantic age, that is not good for you. I would not say like that. If you have the confidence, if you think that you can answer all the question asked by the interviewers, the panel, so you can go ahead. তোমরা প্রিপারেশন নিতেই পারো রোমান্টিক এজের উপরে। বাট মাই সাজেশন উড বি, apart from romantic age, you also go with 2 or 3 ages, more periods. Victorian period you can have preparation. Alfred Lord Tennyson is there, Robert Browning is there, Charles Dickens is there, Thomas Hardy is there. You can have preparation of the modern period. W.B. Yeats, T.S. Eliot, James Joyce, Virginia Woolf, W.H. Auden, George Orwell. And if you give your demonstration on a text of your syllabus, that is good. But if you give a demonstration on a certain age, certain period, then you must mention the key words, the key ideas, the critical phrases. That means if you gave your demonstration on romantic period, you should talk about the French Revolution, the 3 ideals of French Revolution. And what is the result of the French Revolution, for which the romantic poets got disillusioned? তাদের ভ্রম কেটে গেল, তারা কেন মুখ ফিরিয়ে নিল ফ্রেঞ্চ রেভলিউশন থেকে? What is romantic imagination? What is the medieval definition of romance, and what is the modern definition of romance? What are the features of romantic literature? You should mention all those things. If you give demonstration on the modern age, you must say about the modern techniques introduced into the literature, the key terms, objective correlative, stream of consciousness, and also the thinkers, the practitioners in this area, you should say. But keep your answer brief, 2 to 3 lines, because the panel চাই ক্ল্যারিটি। কোনো লং লেকচার্স তারা কেউ চাইবেন না। কষ্ট করে 2 থেকে 3 লাইনের মধ্যে আমাকে উত্তরটা দিতে হবে, এরকম নয় যে আমি একটা লম্বা একটা স্পিচ দিলাম, লেকচার দিলাম, enthralling speech. No need to do that. আবার ইন্ডিয়ান ইংলিশ লিটারেচার, ইন্ডিয়ান রাইটিং ইন ইংলিশ, তার উপরেও আমাদের প্রিপারেশন নেওয়া যেতেই পারে, আমরা করতেই পারি। the panel oftentimes checks your ability to teach English correctly. আমি বিশেষ করে গ্রামার এন্ড ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ ঠিকঠাক করে আমি বলতে পারছি কিনা, আমার সঠিক ধারণা আছে কিনা, তার জন্য we need preparation on the tenses, modals, active passive, clause, reported speech, part of speech, transformation of sentences, common errors, phrases, antonyms, synonyms, idioms. They may ask you to explain a grammar concept as if to a student. For example, if I say, if I were teaching class 9, I would first give examples of direct and indirect speech from their daily conversation. Then I will explain the rule and show them how the tense is changing. When you give a demonstration of class 9, considering the experts as your students, you may be asked to give a demonstration on a poem, on a story, or a drama. How you would teach a poem, a story, a drama? How will you teach William Shakespeare, to the class 10 students? So I will give you a sample demonstration on that. I would give you a sample demonstration on that at the end. Okay. Now, so these are the things one should take into consideration, that yes, these are the things I should get prepared. These are the things I should make myself acquainted with. Sometimes the panel ask the candidate just to introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. And that introduction would be around 1 minute. So you prepare a concise, a confident response. How you will prepare, how would be the concise response? For example, you can greet them, "Good morning, sir. I am Dr. Tanmoy, a postgraduate in English literature. I am deeply interested in teaching because I believe language opens the door to creativity and critical thinking. I enjoy reading. I enjoy guiding students to express themselves in English with confidence and imagination." So in this way you can introduce yourself, but that would be around 1 minute. 1 মিনিটের মধ্যেই কিন্তু সেই ইন্ট্রোডাকশনটাকে আমাকে সীমাবদ্ধ রাখতে হবে। অনেক সময় জিজ্ঞাসা করা হয়, why you do want to become a teacher? তুমি শিক্ষক হতে চাও কেন? What are the weaknesses and the strength? What are your strengths and weaknesses? Who is your favorite author and why? Sometimes you may be asked, ধরো একটা স্টুডেন্ট ক্লাসে অমনোযোগী, কোনো মতে আগ্রহী হচ্ছে না তোমার পড়া শুনতে, তাকে তুমি কিভাবে হ্যান্ডেল করবে? নাও, why you want to become a teacher? এই প্রশ্নের উত্তরে কি বলা যেতে পারে? অনেক কিছুই বলা যেতে পারে। যেমন আমি হলে বলতে পারি, I want to become a teacher because I enjoy sharing knowledge and helping students to get connected with literature, to get connect literature with life. Also, you should prepare yourself on certain general knowledge and educational current affairs, important education days, Teachers Day, importance of Teachers Day, Literacy Day, name of some educationist, basic geography and history of West Bengal, the current educational initiatives, digital classroom, inclusive education. So these are the things you should take into consideration before you enter, before you appear the interview boards. You just think of the interview as a conversation, not a test. ইন্টারভিউকে শুধু একটা কথাবার্তার আলাপ এইভাবে যদি আমি নিই, টেস্ট হিসাবে যদি না নিই, তাহলেই কিন্তু আমি জয়ী হব। শান্ত থাকতে হবে। You remain calm, composed, humble, even if you are unsure about a question. You remember the panel value, give importance to clarity, sincerity, teaching aptitude. And at the end, you conclude by thanking them courteously. Thank you, sir, ma'am, for this opportunity. আমরা একটা ফেমাস কোটেশন we can use. A good teacher is not the one who knows everything. A good teacher is not the one who knows everything, but the one who makes others want to learn. তাকেই তো গুড টিচার বলা যায়। Who makes others want to learn. আমি এবারে চলে আসি স্যাম্পল লেকচার ডেমনস্ট্রেশন কি হতে পারে। সাপোজ you have thought of giving demonstration on the poem The Solitary Repair for the class 9 students. And you know that this poem has been written by William Wordsworth. So how long you would continue the demonstration, it depends on the situations. But at least you get yourself prepared up to 10 minutes, 15 minutes for the demonstration. If you are being told that you demonstrate on that topic within 5 minutes, 5 মিনিটের মধ্যে শেষ করতে হবে। ওই যে বললাম, যারা রয়েছেন ইন্টারভিউ বোর্ডে তাদের উপরে ডিপেন্ড করছে যে আমি কত সময় ধরে আমার ডেমনস্ট্রেশনটাকে আমি কন্টিনিউ করতে পারি। কেননা ডেমনস্ট্রেশনের পরে হচ্ছে কোশ্চেন আনসার, ইন্টারভিউ শুরু হবে। তাহলে একজন ক্যান্ডিডেটের জন্য কতটা সময় বরাদ্দ, এটার কোনো নির্দিষ্ট পরিমাপ নেই। If your demonstration topic becomes interesting to the panel, so they may ask you to continue. And suppose if they don't find interest in the topic you are demonstrating, so they may interrupt you by saying, "Stop, Mr. Kundu. Now you answer to our questions." So, solitary repair you are going to demonstrate. How you will demonstrate that topic? Step by step you will follow. The first thing, that is greeting. The first thing is make the students, you warm them up. Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to take a short class on one of the most beautiful romantic poems, The Solitary Repair by William Wordsworth. Before we begin reading the text, let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever been touched, moved by a song, even though you did not understand the words? You will take a pause to get the responses. With your smiling face, you will encourage 2 or 3 students to answer briefly. Now you will say, that's exactly what happens to Wordsworth in this poem. Now let us see how it happens. So, this way you will activate their prior knowledge. You will build a rapport. You will connect emotionally. Now, you will go on talking about the poet. William Wordsworth is one of the leading poets of the Romantic Age. He believed that poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings recollected in tranquility. Nature was not just a background for him. It was alive, spiritual. It was healing. And now without wasting time, you go directly to the poem. When the poem was written, how the poet was inspired to write this poem. The solitary repair was inspired by a short trip made by Wordsworth to Scotland, and there he saw a Highland girl singing while working alone in a field. And this scene touched the poet deeply and inspired this poem. So, in this way, you will build the context. You will link the biography of Wordsworth to the theme of the poem. Now, you will read the poem. Now, let us read the first stanza together. What are the lines of the poem? Behold her. After her, there is a comma, that means a pause you will take. Behold her. Put emphasis on behold. Behold এর উপরে তোমাকে স্ট্রেস দিতে হবে। Behold her single in the field. Single এর উপরে তুমি স্ট্রেস দেবে। She is alone on the field and singing to herself. Single in the field, yon solitary Highland lass, reaping and singing by herself, stop here or gently pass. Stop here or gently pass. So you will read it aloud with expression, with emotion, not mechanically. And explain the line in a simple, in a clear language. কবি এখানে কি বলছেন? What the poet is asking? To look at the girl walking alone in the field. Now explain the meaning of the word solitary. Solitary means lonely, but peaceful. What she is doing? What the girl is doing? The girl is reaping. Reaping means cutting the calf and singing a song while working, while cutting. Now, maybe the travelers are coming on that way. So he tells the traveler to either stop and listen quietly to the song or walk past gently. Thereby the speaker wants to or shows respect for her solitude and the music. Actually, the poet is deeply moved by the melody of her song. He compares her voice to the nightingale and the cuckoo. And you know, nightingale and cuckoo both are known for their sweetness. কবির মনে হয়েছে যে এই solitary repair, Highland lass, lass means beautiful girl, he finds the song sung by the solitary Highland lass more enchanting as it fills the valley with music. তিনি বলছেন, I don't understand the Gaelic language in which she sings, but the emotion she is singing, the emotion that I find in her song, it touches my soul. I don't know the language. It might be a song of sorrow. It might be a song of history. It might be a song of the rural life, simple rural life. But it becomes immortal in his memory. And that's why when he walks away, তিনি জায়গা ছেড়ে চলে যাচ্ছেন নিজের গন্তব্যস্থলের দিকে, the song continues to echo in his heart. And it shows how beauty and emotion live on beyond the moment. What are the romantic features in this poem? You write on the board. If you get the board, you write on the board the features of the romantic features you find. The rural highland scene, the love of nature. Poets' emotion over intellect, the emotional response to music. The simplicity, the common life of a village girl. The imagination that the song stays in her heart forever. Actually, this poem shows Wordsworth's belief that nature and human emotion are deeply connected. Even a simple movement can become spiritual through imagination. What are the poetic devices the poet has used? Simile. What is simile? You will explain. Imagery, the poet has used. Alliteration, symbolism. Now you will make the interaction. You will question the students. Question the experts taking in them as your students. Who is the solitary repair? Why does the poet compare her song to the nightingales? What remains with the poet after he leaves? And you will conclude in 30 seconds. So, in the solitary repair, Wordsworth shows that true beauty lies in simplicity. Even without understanding the words, he feels the song's emotional power. It teaches us that art and emotion are universal language. Okay. So if you get blackboard, of course, you should definitely use that blackboard. You should definitely use the blackboard. Okay. So in this way, you can uh, take preparation. And now if you need further help, you can contact the institute, and I believe that you will definitely get help from them, or you will get further resources from them. So you contact the institute for further details, and I wish you best of luck. I want to see you on the board. With all these words, let me sum up. Let me conclude this session. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.